I hope you're ready.
This is Unbridled Thoughts.
We want to hear what you have to say.
Welcome back to Unbridled Thoughts. This is Sarah.
And this is Ren, and you better grab the mane and hold on tight because there's no reins in Unbridled Thoughts.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to have these ladies on here today. Ren, will you go ahead and introduce them?
Yes, today we have the owners of Between Friends Coffee Shop in Warner Robins, Jamie and Victoria.
Hi, friends.
Hey, guys.
Hi, we're so excited to have you.
We are so excited. So to kick off, just to kind of get everybody's nerves under check, we've started this new thing. You guys are only our second ones, which we have blazing saddle questions.
Yes. I feel like an icebreaker.
This is how new it is. I have to actually think about what it is I'm saying. I'm like, I don't want to mess it up. Right. So I'm going to kick it off.
If you
or do you
want to,
kick it off? Do you have one that you want to say in particular? We didn't go through this.
I can kick it off. Okay, so this is your first Blazing Saddles question. Name some famous best friends.
Oh, okay. Grace and Frankie.
Oh, Grace and Frankie.
That's a good one.
I love
For
that show.
Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Iconic. Can we say maybe Friends?
Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez.
That's another good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Taylor was just in Selena's Sailor's wedding.
Love it. They even have a nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the cast of Friends. That's
the whole cast of
iconic.
Friends. Depending on which episode, you have different friends being more friendly towards each other, for sure. But yeah.
Who did we just meet? Lisa
Ann Walters.
Yes.
Yes.
And Elaine.
Yes.
Yeah, from The Parent Trap.
Yeah.
They're still besties.
They,
Really?
Yeah.
Lisa Ann Walters, she was on a comedy tour, and she actually, in Atlanta, and she brought her out, Elaine out.
Yeah.
And
So
it was amazing.
cool.
Yeah,
Where'd you
that
guys
was
meet
awesome.
them at?
At the Helium Club in Atlanta.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You guys seem like you guys must do some really cool shit. I'm kind of jealous here.
Well, 'cause people may not realize you guys are best friends in real life.
We are.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's this coffee
Hey,
shop Between
we're getting there to that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We're still on Blazing
We're
Saddles,
jumping the gun.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, Sarah's turn.
It's my turn.
Sorry, y'all get excited.
All right, mine's kind of boring, but name your favorite coffee, since this is about a coffee house.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Do you want us to name our names for the coffees or like traditional names for
Maybe
it?
both. We can do our name and then describe
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
what
Shout
it
out
is.
who
Okay.
you are too.
Okay,
Yeah,
fabulous.
I like
Yes.
both.
So we do own a coffee shop, Between Friends Coffee, and we're a literary themed coffee shop. So
Yeah.
we have all of our drinks are named after poets, playwrights, or authors. So I'll give you the author name and then I'll tell you what the drink is. So don't be confused by that. But so my very favorite drink right now is probably the Toni Morrison, and it is a iced caramel, brown sugar, and vanilla latte.
Oh, that sounds so
it's-
good.
Oh yeah,
You had me at brown
it's
sugar.
so good.
Yeah.
It's just rich, warm, like
Yeah.
It is so good. And I drink pretty much all iced lattes, so that's my go-to with oat milk, of course.
Yeah, milk, of course.
I have oat milk too. That's like my new favorite
Oh
thing.
my gosh, yes.
Oat milk and brown sugar. I'm a whore for it. I'm telling you what.
Yes.
I'll show up.
Yes. So the Toni Morrison. That's what you're having next time.
Okay, then I'm going to say the Hemingway. It's our Cuban latte.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's got brown sugar in it too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that one's,
You
yeah.
guys, come on now.
Yeah.
Need
It's an
more
easy
coffee
favorite.
in my life.
That's a perfect name because he loved Cuba.
Right?
Mhm.
Right?
Oh yeah.
We try to tie things in. Sometimes we can't.
No,
We
that's
try to.
great. I love it. And then, who would you say is your favorite game show host?
For me, Jerry
Yeah.
O'Connell, he was precious and sweet, down to earth. Didn't make anybody feel less than, or I don't know. He was just kind.
It was kind of funny. One of his assistants prefaced him saying that he would offer to go run errands for you, and it's true. Like the moment you meet him, he's like, "You want a water? Do you want a coffee? Do you want a matcha? Like, what can I get you?" And so, yeah, just his personality was really.
Yeah, at first they were like, don't make eye contact with him.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh, because he's a celebrity. And they're like, no, because then he's just going to get off track and ask about your mom, ask what your dog's name is. Just
He really
So
was
neat.
so personable. I would have to echo that. I think
Yeah.
he is my favorite, just after meeting him and getting to know him a little bit better, for sure.
That really sits right with my soul because when
Yeah.
he first came on the scene, I was like, there was something about him that just seemed so sweet
Yeah.
and genuine.
Very.
And I had a crush on him just because of that. You know what I mean? 'Cause I have a
Yes.
crush on like sweet, genuine, authentic people.
Yeah.
And that's how so when you say that he's really like that, you're just like, oh, okay, good.
And even more so, like just
Yeah.
meeting him backstage versus,
Yes.
and even on set,
Yeah.
I feel like he's always so like genuinely, he cares like how you feel, if you're
Mm-hmm.
comfortable,
Yeah.
if there's anything he can do.
Oh, you can see it though, like in his
Yeah.
eyes. You know, he's got like such sweet little,
So
sudsy
genuine.
eyes. Yeah. I love that.
Absolutely.
So, name your favorite author.
Favorite author.
Jeez, that's like naming your
So-
favorite kid.
We can have more than one
Quite
favorite.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one.
Man.
You know, for me, Dan Brown has always been just the way that he writes his books. I really like Angels and Demons, and that was one of my favorite books of his. It was the very first drink that I named at our coffee shop, the Affogato. I got to name that one Dan Brown, so I was very happy about that.
Affogato ice latte.
Yeah, so that he's very near and dear to my heart just for his writing style. But I think also Margaret Atwood, just for her fearlessness and
Yeah,
boldness.
yeah.
I really like what she brings to the table. She's just such an intellectual, and just challenges you to see the world for how it is, or how it sometimes can be. So
Do you have a favorite book, either of you?
I'm still digging Untamed by Glennon Doyle. I'd say that's my favorite book, my favorite writer right now. It's subject to change.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a powerful book.
It really is.
That cheetah analogy, I was like,
Yes.
I had to put it down to come back.
So she sent us a signed copy, and
Wow.
I'm like, we're already fans. You don't
So
have to win
much.
us over.
Aw.
Like,
yes,
she's lovely too.
yeah.
Jamie, we kind of skipped over your favorite author, so nail it with us.
I think Glennon.
Yeah.
For now. I'm also a Steinbeck girl. That's kind of nerdy.
That's okay.
I love John Steinbeck.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, favorite book, I don't even know.
We really don't have time to read anymore, which is
so
terrible.
I listen to audiobooks mostly
Yeah.
when I drive. So
Yeah.
I kind of, is that cheating? I don't know.
No.
But I just finished Say Nothing, and I don't remember the author, but it's about the IRA, the Irish Republican Army. And it's so brilliantly, I love history. So
Yeah.
it's like a really historical
Yeah.
piece. It's like a very intimate look into the lives of the characters, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
I don't think
really
it's cheating because I'm the same way. I was actually just thinking, I used to read so much when I was young, and life is just, I don't have time to breathe,
Yeah.
most likely.
Yeah.
How do I have time to read? So, doing that while you're driving is a great idea.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
got to fit it in however.
And I've been
you can.
thinking about it. I've had that on my, I don't even know how to get into the audiobook world. So that's a story for another minute, but
Yeah.
like, how do I find this?
Yes.
I had a dear friend share with me that she challenged herself this year. Every time she wants to go on social media, like just to kill time if she's waiting somewhere, she's like, now I don't pick up my phone, I just pick up a book.
That's genius.
Like, that's a good idea. And she's like, I've like read like 8 books already this year doing that.
That's how I used to be. I didn't get into social media at all until like about 2 years ago. And I used to just carry a book around with me in my purse, and I would just whip it out while I was in line at the grocery store or whatever. But I just don't have it in me anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like I go on social media for pleasure anymore. It's kind of like more work.
Yeah, when you own it, y'all know when you own a business, you're on there. Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's always like working.
I gotta feed the machine today.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
All right, so now we just want to take some time. We have you two beautiful girls here, and we just kind of want to get to know who you guys are. So were you both born and raised in Georgia?
So I'll start because
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
born and raised here in Georgia, in a town up in Roberta called Lizella. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. But,
Yeah.
I was born and raised here. Kind of drove into downtown Macon and Warner Robins, Watson area primarily. So those are kind of, I would say, I'm very like local to the area. And then Jamie.
No, my dad was in the Air Force. So I was born in Florida, moved to England, Wyoming. I've been all over. I think Warner Robins is home, though. My dad retired here. I got married, had kids here. And so, yeah, I'm not a native, but this is home.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Long time.
And you met him here in Georgia?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sweet. And you guys have kids?
We do. We have a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old.
Oh.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
They're the coolest humans in the world.
Oh, I love that. And then, like, so how was that growing up, you know, traveling all over? Do you have a favorite place that you went to, or?
Honestly, it was super hard. I'm super introverted. I know you guys can't tell. Just a nerd. And I don't know. I think I'll just jump into it. You didn't really have that connection growing up with anybody, because as soon as you did, you know, the Air Force would take you out. Like, you have to move and go somewhere else. And this was before social media. This was before everyone had a phone and, you know, could shoot a text off. And I think that was the hardest part. It was not easy for me. It was not easy for my siblings. I think the military is a great thing, and it got my family out of basically poverty, which was a great tool, but it's really difficult. And I think that's something that people don't talk about a lot, and how hard it is on the kids. So finding, like, being able to put roots down for the first time as an adult has been pretty powerful. And that's something that we wanted to give our kids, you know, not having to be kind of ripped out of their security and what they know, and moving all the time. So that's something, and I think that's what led us to do the coffee shop. Is the coffee shop, all it is a place for connection. For people to connect and talk and have conversations and get to share experiences. So for us, I think that's just the core of what we do, or what we try to do.
Roots,
For
sure.
Thank you for sharing your struggle, though, because
Thank you. Made me a little emotional. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really glad you shared that, because I don't think a lot of people have shared that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if people feel comfortable or, like, dare I say, like, brave enough to share that, what you just shared. So like,
well, thank you.
And I could feel that when you were like sharing that with us. I'm like, that was like a really powerful statement. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
That's the whole, like, why we wanted to start this, is so people can, I mean, I think we all have the same vision, but you guys, you know, manifested it into a coffee shop, and we manifested it into this podcast.
Yeah.
But it's just that, you know, we all have so many similar stories, you know, it's not exactly the same, but we share, like, the same outline, kind of, you know, the rough draft.
Yeah.
And we all need to just grow together and not grow apart, and find things to like about each other rather than finding things we don't like about each other, you know?
Absolutely.
And I think there's a lot of beauty when we do share our struggle, because there's other people going through that same struggle, and we don't want to talk about it, you know? And then everybody's just left in the world to try to deal with it alone.
Yeah.
I think that kind of goes back to the social media. Is like, we all think we have to look strong and perfect and wonderful, and there's not that vulnerability,
Yeah.
you know, that you really get face to face.
Yep.
And that's kind of why we chose to you know, put our coffee shop together the way that it is. There's no drive-through, you know, and that was like a very strategic reason for us. And, you know, we are book themed because we want to have people come in and have conversations and sit face to face, and just relax a while, and not feel the pressure to be perfect or picture ready, or, you know, like all these, you know, things that I feel like there are pressures in the world today to be. So,
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. That's cool. So you were born and raised here. And how was that growing up? Like,
so
there's nothing to do now, so I can't imagine.
So I don't know if any of you guys have been out to kind of towards Roberta area.
I
It's
lived
very
out in that
country.
area.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we lived in Macon by Lake Tobesofsky, but it was like literally the next street over was Lizella. You know what I mean? So we were like right on the cutoff.
So I always joke that this is like a big town for me, because I feel like when you live out in the country, time doesn't exist, you know? Like this, it is a slower pace of life to the extreme. So, you know, everything was just a little bit different growing up then. And then, you know, it was, I'm a triplet. I have 2 siblings.
No way.
So many people don't know that about
So many people don't know that.
I can't even imagine. What was it like growing up with like 2 people the same age?
You just get built-in best friends. It's kind of like a cliche, but you really do. You know, so it was, you know, us 3 and my parents always owned their own businesses. So I have like that entrepreneurial kind of background as well. And so being able to grow up in a slower pace of life where you were in control of, your day to day and things, was really something that I enjoyed, that I liked, which kind of led me to choose that more entrepreneurial path, going into adulthood.
Yeah.
But I started volunteering and getting more involved in the community here, which is actually how we met, through volunteer work, and kind of decided to move more towards the Warner Robins area simply because it was a little faster paced, which sounds hilarious. But it was a little faster paced for me, and I just really felt drawn to the community here.
Yeah.
Simply because this is a military town. We have people coming from all over, and it was that diversity and that more like multiculturalism that really drew me to Warner Robins.
Yeah.
And more into putting down roots here.
I
So,
love that.
Yeah. This is my big city.
Are you close to your? Are you guys all girls?
So I have a brother, David.
Okay.
And he's here.
Okay.
And then my sister is in Texas, Alexandria.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys are you close as far as relationship wise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So we still chat, we still talk. Adulthood and moving and doing all these things can kind of pull, siblings apart. I think whenever we grow up, we get involved in our own things, our own friends, our own jobs, but definitely still
I
talk.
have 5 siblings and they're all in
Wow.
California, so I mean, you just get busy with your own life,
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
You love them no less, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just pick up the conversation and carry it on when you do talk. So.
yeah.
Have they been to the coffee shop yet, your
They
siblings?
both have.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
They were there on opening day.
They were.
They helped us on opening day.
We were so lucky. I feel like we really just dove off the cliff on opening day so much. So much that we weren't prepared for, and were maybe over prepared for in some ways. Like, being in business, you try to prepare.
Yeah.
Right. You do your best. You
Yeah.
try to prepare.
Yeah.
And then you just get thrown curveballs. But we had a great unit of just friends and family all there for us on opening day
That's
and
so
opening
awesome.
week, really,
Yeah.
That helped us navigate all of that craziness and kind of find our footing, which was awesome. So they were there for that.
That's so
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they helped in the build out some. We
Yeah.
did most of the build out of our space ourselves. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, I don't want to get too much into the coffee house because that's coming
Yes,
up. Okay.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
We want to keep it like a little bit,
Yeah,
like
kinda keep a
let's
few
build
secrets.
the story
Yeah.
a little.
I know we're all so excited on it.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to hear more about your friendship. So you guys said you met doing volunteer work.
Yes.
Yeah, so we've been friends for over 10 years now. I think I don't know, 10 years ago, we were very different people than we are now. We've definitely grown. I think women friendships, people expect you to be catty, and there's that negative stereotype where
It's like a competition all the
yeah,
time.
and it's never been that. I don't know, it's never been that.
No.
We just kind of fell into this rhythm of like, oh, I just met you, but I feel like I've always known you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I've never had that connection with somebody else.
And I feel like our personalities are so different that
Yes.
it actually ends up fitting like a puzzle piece more so than being like two, repelling magnets or something. Like it actually works really well. Like everything clicked. I am not talking about that slower pace of life. I am not a doer like I don't see a task and immediately jump into it. I like to sit with it, think about it, plan for it, in a very loose way. I'm more of a creative,
You're very
than
creative,
type A.
spontaneous. Yeah.
But I like to just kind of take my time going into something, and because of that, a lot of stuff doesn't get done,
Yeah.
So I have all these dreams and these plans and these wonderful creative emotions and things like that, but then nothing was really becoming of them. And so meeting Jamie, she's a total doer. She'll take an idea and put it into action and make sense of it.
It's called anxiety.
It's the fuel we live on.
And so it's like I have all these creative ideas, and then she can take it and mold it and make it into something. And she has limitless creative ideas of her own. But I just felt like our personalities worked because we were able to be like two parts. Like the engine of a car and then the frame of a car, and it just worked. Like when we fit together, it was like, oh, cool, we can actually make stuff happen. This is awesome.
That is so beautiful.
Yes.
What are your guys' birthdays? I'm kind of dying to know what your signs are right now. I'm sorry.
I'm a Libra through and through.
Okay.
So September 29th.
July
I just turned
3rd, I'm a Cancer.
You're a Cancer.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. That's crazy. I'm trying to imagine that.
Oh, she's a Cancer and a type 2 through and through.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes to Sarah's and I's friendship, I describe it as a zipper effect,
Yeah.
where she has gaps, I have the prongs, and where I have gaps, she has the prongs,
Oh, that's
and
so
then
great.
it like doesn't really match, but then it lines up
Yeah,
perfect, and like
I
we
love
both
that.
get on the same track, and you just start
Yes.
moving forward,
Yeah.
and you're like, whoa, it's like the road's being paved in
Yeah.
front of
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
and yes, it's a lot of work, but you kind of get into like this almost like energetic magic bubble.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like trucking along, like you're like living down the yellow brick
Yeah.
road. You're like, wee! I'm
know.
terrified and excited all at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Because we're
Isn't
getting
it?
stuff
It's
done.
so beautiful to hear their love story because you're
know.
just like, well, that's our love story, but
Yeah.
we're just 8 years behind you guys.
Yes.
That's so cool.
I love the zipper analogy.
Yeah.
That's a really
That's a good
great.
one.
Yeah.
I love the car analogy. I love that.
do,
That makes so much sense. I love it.
Oh my God. One designs the roads, the other one's paving. So
Yeah.
we understand.
There you go.
Exactly.
And it's like that with me and her, so much. But sometimes, like, I'll have a vision and then she follows through, or she has a vision, I follow through.
Yeah.
And it kind of is like shocking where I'm like, or sometimes we both have the vision, we both start it, and then like one or the other starts dropping the ball. So the other one's like, no, pick it
Yeah,
up, pick
yeah.
it up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just like crazy. And you guys are involved, I think, similar to how we are, where it's like you start with this main thing. And then your lives probably, like, you didn't even know it was going to happen, just starts
yeah.
opening up other portals. And you're like, okay, well, now we're
Yeah.
doing this now. And now we're
Yeah.
doing that now. And now we're doing. So I cannot wait to continue to dive into that, know.
Yes.
So do you guys travel together and do things together? And
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Some for work and some just to get away and have
Yeah.
fun. And,
yeah, sounds familiar.
Take a break.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, do you guys, when you go away for fun, do you say, okay, this is all fun and no business? And then you're laying there, you're like in the sun, soaking up the sun or doing whatever it is. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I know what we need to do today.
All 100%.
Yes. Okay, I'm
All
taking
the
notes on my
time.
phone.
Yeah.
They all end up
Yeah.
being
And
work
then Chris
trips.
is up there going, we're supposed to be doing pleasure, not work.
Yes.
All the time.
That's awesome. So is your husband like involved with your guys' friendship too?
Yeah, he's going to be mad that we're on a podcast and not his because he has a podcast. He has a,
No way.
He has a football podcast.
Nice.
Like, you don't really want us to come on there.
Oh my goodness, but you know what? We should still do like a collab podcast. I mean,
You
it's like
should,
two
yeah.
Georgia. I mean, we wouldn't have anything to talk
Yeah.
about, but we'll have fun.
Yeah. It'd be fun for y'all to talk about books that have like football in them, like
Yeah.
on his podcast.
yeah.
That'd be kind of cool because you could go all the way back in
See,
history.
there's an idea.
That's
Yeah,
a
there
great
you
idea.
go.
Fun.
Yeah.
I'll tell him about that
We used
later.
to-
Yeah. See,
Used
we're
to
opening
joke,
up
but-
portals all together with
Yeah.
all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, I do not know anything about sports, but I will give you a very creative narration on what's going on.
For instance, if we ever do fantasy football, she's picking people based on, she calls them their costumes.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that color. I like that logo.
well, that's me
Picking
all
that
day,
one.
every day.
But she wins. But she won the
I'm telling
first,
you.
the
Oh.
first year.
I've unlocked a new
love-
strategy.
Bizarre.
I think about that too because I'd be like, okay, I feel like purple's a more aerodynamic color
Oh
than
my god,
orange.
that's exactly what I did. That's so I went with the Ravens because of the purple. Yep, I was like, yep, them.
I'm over here shooting numbers, going down statistics. I'm like, okay, I gotta pick this, this, and this. She's like, I really love purple.
And that's the one.
And that's the one.
Oh man,
I had a
There's
good
more
time
of
in
you.
New York. Why not?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Oh my goodness, that's
there's
awesome.
another difference.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, Wes, we're coming on your podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, your podcast.
Well, I mean, apparently I just invited myself too, so us
Yeah.
too. So.
Oh, you would love that. You would love that.
All right. So now we need to dive into the whole coffee house experience. Like, how did that vision even start? Like,
Yeah, well, yeah, how did it start? We
So long ago.
Yeah, we really hit it off volunteering, just kind of figuring out like, oh, okay, we actually work really well together. And there was a coffee shop in the community that was in the works of closing, actually. And it was the only one kind of over in our area at that time. Like Perry had
the only independent one,
couple, and Macon had a couple, independently owned. And so we were just like volunteering and hanging out, and like, wow, we get so much done together. And then I've always been like an avid coffee drinker. I love coffee houses, love coffee. She's always loved that like bakery, that restaurant kind of cafe vibe. And we just got to talking one day, and we were like, do you know that place is closing? Have you ever thought about, I don't know, opening up a cafe, opening up a coffee shop? And it kind of just went from there. Like, we were like, okay, let's do it. Like, kind of how you mentioned, like, the roads being paved in front of you.
Our thing was, if not now, then when?
Like, things just started moving into place. We had other people talking in our circles about, man, we're really going to miss this. We need a coffee shop. You know, where are we going to, you know, do our work or our reading or kids doing school or all these different things. Our meetings, we had a lot of book clubs, actually, and other groups that were meeting at the other coffee shop. And we just, like, everything started to align. Like, it was the wildest thing. Like, the path was literally being paved in front of us.
We decided in February, found a building in March, and then we were technically ready to open mid-July, but we wanted to open on, it just aligned. It was the first of the month on a Monday, August 1st. So, it worked out.
Yeah, it kind of sounds wild because people usually are expecting more of, like, a thought-out like kind of obvious, like, yes, you guys really thought this out.
We jumped.
We we just sort of jumped out of the airplane. And it all just literally fell into place. And like like we talked on earlier, we had our families and friends and like a whole support system and a whole network helping us get there.
It's really in the name. I mean, it really was built between friends.
I love that.
So many work days. There's handprints on our wall.
There are,
when we initially painted the wall, we had a girl who put her handprints on there. It's so cool to look back and see. Like, it was literally just a bunch of...
Yeah, she was just a kid then, just 10 years ago.
A bunch of kids and friends and family all just hanging out and building things and making everything come together. And,
that's so cool. What a beautiful story.
I love that.
That's really awesome. So, about the coffee house, how did the whole, I mean, there was book clubs, so were you guys in a book club together?
No.
So I've always been a writer. I wanted to do, I was like, we've got to have a hook. We've got to have something. Like, you can get coffee anywhere. You can get it at McDonald's. We've got to have something that brings people in.
Yes, like a novelty.
You've got to find your niche.
Yeah.
This kind of goes back to earlier.
Yeah, and I'm like, let's do sports. Everyone loves sports. We'll get the men, we'll get the women. Just like Jamie.
Sports what? I didn't grow up with sports. I know nothing.
I can't even imagine, like, there's another dimension where y'all did that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to visualize
That's like an alternate reality.
It wouldn't have worked. It would not have worked.
It failed for sure.
It only lasts 6 months.
When I tell you, I knew nothing of sports. Like, I, at best, knew, like, fencing. So I did fence for a little bit, so I knew a little bit about that. And I knew, like, track and some other, like, chess. I don't know, like, nerdier stuff. And it's just like, football, soccer, like, all these, like baseball, red-blooded American, sports. And I'm like, I'm lost. I got nothing.
She's like, hear me out, what if we did something literary? And I'm like, I feel like a loser for not thinking about that.
Well, you are a multi-time published author.
My degree's in English. I should have thought about that.
Your degree's in English. Like, you are books, just like encapsulated.
Yeah.
I grew up just reading nonstop, going back to like literally any downtime. Got a book. Got maybe 2 books. Constantly nose in a book.
Yeah, me too.
So I was like, that's a comfort zone for us both. Like, why?
Yeah.
And also being a place to congregate, like we wanted. No drive-through. We want to slow down. I was like, what is more apt to slow you down than a book?
Yeah. Sports cheer you up. You're like,
exactly.
That was probably the dumbest idea I had. Hers was brilliant, and it worked. And we didn't want to be like anyone else, where we write the names on the cups. We knew that wasn't our thing.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's name it after books and writers and things like that. So that's what we write on the cups, and it's just worked. Like, having people come in and say, I want a Steinbeck or I want a Harper Lee. You can't get that anywhere else.
Yeah,
you
that's
can get
true.
the drink somewhere else, but you can't get that. And then it's really neat to see people come in and say, like, look at our menu, and they're like, wait a minute, I get it. that's Shakespeare. I read him in high school, and you get that little bit of just like a spark.
Yeah. Or people start trying to say like, well, why'd you name it this? Oh,
Yeah.
and they like all of these, why is the flavor that for this author? And when all the pieces start aligning, they really slow down to think
like,
about
it's
it.
cool.
And
I
they
get
start
it.
drawing those parallels. And they're like, oh, that's awesome.
That's
It
awesome.
probably turns people on to authors that they've never picked up
100% it
before.
has.
Yeah.
100%.
And we can
has.
jump on the trends.
Yeah.
Like anytime someone new hits the scene, we're like,
Yeah.
okay,
We're gonna
we got to come up with this drink. And
exactly
That's so
add them to
cool.
the menu. Yeah, it's really confusing though. We go into a bookstore and I'm looking at all these authors and I'm like, okay, caramel and marshmallow, and then we got like mocha, and then we got so it's a little bit of a little confusing, but it's really cool to have that hook.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys always been in that location that you are in
Yes.
right
Yes.
now?
Yep.
Okay,
That was
cool.
we shopped around for so many different locations, and then Jamie found that one, and it was like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah, it was a frozen yogurt shop.
That's
before.
right. I remember that.
Yeah, that had
Because
been
it felt like
vacant.
the swirly
Oh,
situation
girl.
happening.
Oh, girl,
It was
so
like Willy
bright.
Wonka's chocolate
Yes.
factory when y'all got it.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yes.
Like blues and greens and
Neon colors.
Yep.
So much
no
color.
plumbing, no
Yeah.
electricity.
No, we
Nothing.
really had
It was
to,
gutted.
We really became Barbara the Builders,
Yeah.
and like had to figure out
Yeah.
what's going on, and build it kind of piece by piece. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So was there anybody that was like behind you guys going like, oh, don't open this together, friend, it's going to ruin your friendship. This
Yeah.
never works.
Yeah.
Never get in business with friends and family. And
Yeah, we
Yes.
named our trash can after him.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he who shall not be named.
Yeah.
But we did. We did name our
Yeah.
trash can after
I
him.
love how it's like we name the trash can, he will not be named.
Kind of. I'll name it. His name's Patrick.
It's kind of an energetic sleigh, though. Like,
Yeah.
what a way to
Yeah.
contain that energy.
Yeah.
No
Drop
pun
my back, be
intended.
Like we gotta go
Okay.
take Patrick out to the dumpster. Yeah, he was
The
probably our
energy is
biggest
getting
hater.
negative. We need to get rid of Patrick today.
We
Yeah.
had a lot of people who were hesitant, maybe just because of the speed things were going, because we were like, oh yeah, we're doing this, by the way, and people would be like, what?
Yeah.
Really? And they would try to catch up, but I think the most negative feedback was from Patrick.
Yeah.
He thought that two women shouldn't be going into business, that women should just get a job, get out of their system,
Yeah.
and settle down. That it was foolish of us to think that women belonged in the business realm.
Wow.
And so
Yeah, he was a hater for sure.
That's why he is named. That's why our trash can is named after him.
Yeah.
So that was probably our biggest outspoken, critic.
Yeah.
I would say for everyone else, maybe just a little hesitation,
Yeah.
because as you know in
Just
business,
fear.
when you're making all these decisions, sometimes it feels like things are moving faster than you are, and so you're constantly like trying to keep up. And a lot of people, I think, felt like, "You sure? Like this is a
Yeah.
lot happening all at once." And I think everyone just had to have an element of faith jumping into it, just being like, okay, this will work out because we're going to make it work out. And like,
Yeah, we're not going to
everything's
stop.
lining up. We're
Yeah.
just not going to stop. Yeah.
Was there a time where it's like, I know with us when we do things, it's like it feels like there's like a hurry up, and then there's like the wait, and it feels like nothing's happening, and then it's like I know like with some things that we're about to do in our lives, it's like there's going to be such a rush, and you're like anticipating that rush again. So
Yeah.
when you were opening or doing other things that you guys have doing, does that sound familiar?
Very much so.
I think for
and I'm
us-
super impatient.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
just instant gratification. Like, okay.
I think that comes down, to our personalities too, because for you, time is like anxiety and time.
Yeah.
You're constantly like, okay, there's a clock ticking, like we gotta go, and I'm just like, la 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 la. It's just like trying to,
But it's a nice balance.
Yeah.
Because you'll be like, Jamie, just slow down.
So I think
Yeah.
there's that hurry up and wait, but I think with our personalities, we try to do the best we can to anchor each other to either for you slowing down or for me making more use of my time and speeding up. And so I think even in the downtime, there's that like educational moment of like, okay, we're gonna work on ourselves and we're gonna make sure that we're using our time efficiently and that
Yeah.
we're just becoming better business owners and better
People.
people of our
Yeah.
making better use of our time. And honestly, things kind of like how you talked about earlier, you start in one direction and then you have all these side quests and things are happening. Our downtime is filled with like, okay, there's a need, we're going to fill this, or oh, there's a need over here, we're going to fill that. And so, yeah, for sure. But I think, in those moments of the quiet, we
Yeah.
can, we end up filling it with so
Yeah.
much. It just kind of gets dropped in our path. So.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I love this. I love the story. How was it building your guys' team?
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Spoken like a true business person.
we've got some stories.
We've got some stories. Yeah.
We have a book.
There's a book.
Yeah, we'll publish it one day. We do have a long-standing book where we write stuff down, but no, we always tell people finding the right team is it's foundational.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily want people who know coffee either. I don't care if you can make latte art. I don't care if you know the difference between a macchiato and an affogato. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I want to know that you're a good person. I want to know that you buy into the vision and you just love people. I think.
Yeah.
So you hire the personality and then train the skill. Okay.
Yeah, because you can't fix a personality.
Yeah,
I don't have the
that's
degrees
true.
for that. So
I think, especially nowadays, like I'm sure we've all encountered, you go through like a fast food restaurant or to just any kind of customer service. Customer service is kind of in a decline where it's
Yeah.
like we put so much priority on efficiency and numbers and just constantly moving people through that it starts
quantity.
feeling super impersonal. And so we find that people who have that food experience, who might have been trained to be just fast, they're not really best suited to our environment where we want to create a slower environment and really connect with people. And so for us, we have been more strategic in finding people without that experience for that reason.
Yeah.
Just to create more of a personal experience for us, you know.
and it's also about who we want to spend time with.
Oh,
'Cause we're at the
absolutely.
shop all the time.
Absolutely.
Like who do we want to be with every day?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
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 I mean, even with my business here, it's like I tell everybody, it's like we are a family. You either learn to fit in where you fit in, or you can't stay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we're not going to have the drama. We're not going to have the pot stirring.
Right.
We're not going to have anything. We fight for each other. We fight with each other.
Yeah.
We love each other. We cheer each other on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the end of the day, it's all done with love.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Absolutely. I mean, we spend a majority of our days at work. So why not enjoy
Yeah.
the people you spend it with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. It's true.
I want to ask y'all about. Let me see. I got so into this conversation.
I
I
know.
know. Peek around.
I'm like really like I feel like I'm in a hot tub of conversation right now.
Well, they kind of answered your question.
Which is fine. I love that. Yeah, about the books and reading. Now you guys, I wanted to tell. Let me bounce around.
Okay.
ADHD is my superpower.
Okay, I feel you.
I wanted to touch on
ADHD.
So I'm surrounded. The plan is there is no plan.
You still have Chris. Yeah, he's
Okay,
good. Yeah, he'll ground you.
Okay.
the two things I wanted to touch on is I have a very hard time processing anticipation as well. But I feel like when you're working with somebody and you're on the same track and you have the same passion and you just put it out there and you just are in this like whatever happens, this is happening, but I'm not attached to what it's going to be like, and I'm open to anything it could potentially be.
Yeah.
You end up in these like little magic pockets where there's people who have been around you, or you walk into a situation with other people and they've been wanting the same thing, like what you were talking about.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, it's like you were like chilling, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, and everyone's like, oh, you want to do this? I'll do this. I'll do this. I'll do this. And it's like all hands on deck with no one expecting anything from you in return. They just want to see it happen.
Which is wild.
Which is awesome because like it helps that anticipation. Like it helps like nothing's happening. Is everything okay? Is everything, and then you're like, you kind of like ride in that for a second, and then you get to that like little magic. It's kind of like a Mario game. It's like, whoa, we're going down. We're going up. Like it's really cool. And then you guys are involved in a lot more besides the bookshop. Or besides the coffee shop, like you guys are into a lot of other fun things as well. I want you to talk to me a little bit about some of your side quests, like you said, like the theater and all the other cool things y'all are involved in.
The theater is definitely a passion. I've done theater my entire life, and going back to the military thing, theater was always a constant. Wherever I moved to, they had a theater, and that's somewhere that I could go and basically be someone other than myself. I could become a character on stage, which is a lot more freeing than when you're growing up, you're trying to figure out who you are. And I don't know if we ever figure out who we are, but being that character on stage, it gives you this freedom, this outlet. And that's something that I've tried to find wherever. And we have an amazing theater scene here in Middle Georgia. And so I kind of roped her into joining me at the theater one day, and she never left.
Yeah.
And now she's the stage manager there. She's on the board. She does all the graphic design, and
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
she's just amazingly creative. She builds the sets. That's what we've been doing all weekend. And
Yeah, I think going back to kind of talking about my family's entrepreneurial background, so we did a lot of building and a lot of marketing and design. And that's why coffee shops are so near and dear to me. We would do a lot of graphic design, website design, things like that. And so when her theater friends started coming around the coffee shop, and she would be in shows, and then I would go to her shows and meet people there. There was a need for graphic designers and things like that. So I was like, okay, I mean, I can design. Like, I grew up designing stuff. Let's do this. And so I started designing for a few theaters, and then now with Warner Robins Little Theater, now being on the board and stuff, I've kind of consolidated all those efforts to Warner Robins Little Theater. And then they ask, hey, we need this set built, and it's like, I built stuff. Let's do it. Like, let's go for it. And so it kind of goes back to following that path as well. It's just like we have all these experiences or skill sets that other people might not know about, but when everything lines up, we're able to really see a need, fill a need, because we've had previous experience and stuff. And so with the theater, there are just opportunities to give back and to take all that experience and then grow it in different ways. And I would say I'm a better designer, and I'm a better manager of people and projects, and a better builder because of the theater and being able to grow from those little seeds of experience into someone who's really working with some amazing, talented, and incredibly intelligent people.
I think the theater is also another one of those, like you said, the opportunity for connection. You literally just said it about just being on a wild ride with people. This weekend, we had people say, hey, how can I help? And we had one weekend to transform the theater into the new set. It's actually set in a coffee shop. So people were like, hey, how can I help? Well, I'm not good at asking for help. So she just kind of put it out there like, hey, if you want to meet up there Friday or Saturday at this time, come up there. We had so many people there. We got it done in 2 hours.
Whoa.
Which has never happens before. I mean, the theater was painted, everything was put together and set up, all the props were put out. I'm like, okay, what do I do with my time now?
Yeah.
I had allotted, 8 hours for this.
Yeah.
I think
what
a
do
lot
we
of
do?
people are looking for side quests. Like we have seeds of experience. We have opportunity, an openness to opportunity and volunteering and things, but people just don't know where to put all of that.
Yeah.
Like they don't. There's not someone to connect them from want to the need. And so whenever we, even through the coffee shop, whenever you open up to help and you say, hey guys, this is my need, people come out of the woodwork because they've been like, I've been waiting for this,
Yes.
and they really come out of the woodwork and volunteer their time and things like that, and it's just a fun situation all around. I think, like, for you personally sometimes, and for so many others that I've talked to, asking for help can feel like you're taking away from someone, but what we have to remember is really the reality of it, and how I've been speaking to the volunteer stuff, it's like you're actually giving them the opportunity. It's like they're sitting there and they're like, I have nowhere to put this, and it's building up, and I just want to do something, and so you're actually doing them a service by asking for that help so that they can come and then do those things and be involved in that way. So really you're giving to people by asking for help, I think.
You really kind of hit the nail on the head, I think, of what the art scene is in Warner Robins too, because people don't realize, I'm getting like goosebumps talking about it. There's so many artists here, performing artists, musical artists. Like, we're really rich in artists here, but it's looking for the space and the opportunity. And you're creating that. And if you're listening and you haven't been to Warner Robins Little Theater, I don't think a lot of people realize how long it's been around.
Yeah, 1962.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how rich the history is in that building. And it's called Little Theater for a reason, because it's small.
Yeah.
But once you're in it and you're in the seat, it feels huge because the energy is like insane in there.
Yeah,
it's very
absolutely.
intimate, and that's what I love about it. It's just, I don't know, I just like that part.
The building actually used to be, it used to be a multitude of different things. It used to be a restaurant. It used to be,
2 different restaurants. Yeah,
2 different restaurants and things. And so it's really cool. It's not even just Warner Robins Little Theater story. It's just Warner Robins story.
Yeah.
There's so much history in that space, in that building, in Pleasant Hill, in Warner Robins, and just in general. And so to see all of our locals and even people who are new to the area come out and really invest into such a historic and amazing space. yeah, it's just the connection to history and what we're building is just incredible.
Yeah.
As well. So yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's so
I love right now.
I know. Well, I want to take it back a little bit because Jamie, said you like to write.
Yeah.
So when did that passion start?
Oh, I've always written. Again, I was super introverted, quiet kid. I would write all the time. Victoria helped publish my first poetry book as a birthday gift to me many years ago. And she's like, you have this, and just, I don't know, it's probably my favorite gift of all time.
Oh my gosh, I
yeah.
love that.
And so that started something, and now I have
So many.
21 on the market.
You write like you're running out of time.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
That's so cool.
That's probably my biggest passion. That, theater, coffee, I don't know, people.
They all go hand in hand. They all
Yeah,
connect
they
people,
all
don't
do,
they?
yeah.
To connection.
Yeah.
And you were a big reader too. Did that ever like
voracious
cross-interfere?
reader. Yeah. Voracious reader.
Yeah.
We are very passionate about literacy. We could blow your mind with statistics and bore you to tears probably. But that is something we're just super big on. We can jump into Middle Georgia Lit Fest whenever.
Yeah. Well, that kind of runs into my next question is that y'all are involved in a lot more, like as far as like literacy, humanitarian activism, human rights activism. Will you tell us a little bit about that? And we don't mind hearing a little bit about literacy as well, and the literary festival too.
It really all connects to it. Literacy, poverty, mental health, they're all connected. And being literary themed, of course, we needed a platform. Literacy is the obvious one, but it goes with mental health and it goes with our humanitarian outreach efforts as well. The United States rates 36th in literacy, which is insane. The average American reads below a 6th grade level.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so when people
I've known all
think,
that.
oh, literacy, you can read. Reading is just the bare minimum. Comprehension is everything. And so when you look at that, the state of Georgia takes 3rd grade reading test at the end of every year, and that's how they determine how many prison beds to make for the following year.
What?
Because it's all connected. Yeah. It's wild. So that's how we got involved with the prison system, and helping them fund their libraries and gathering books for them.
We're kind of involved in like every step along the way. So we're involved in the publishing and the distribution for authors. We're involved in the education system locally, sitting on different boards and working with teachers and reading specialists and people. And then, all the way up to, working with our local author events and things. And then, into prisons and civic duty and community, specific initiatives. There's so many different ones, but really kind of just touching on every level, every step of the way. I think books are so critical, not only for learning and comprehension and things like that, but also just for opening up our perspectives, which is so important to human rights and things like that.
Yeah.
If we can read into and see from other people's perspectives, I think that's so powerful.
Yeah.
And that's where Middle Georgia Lit Fest was born, of just people needed a spot they could go to. And I don't know, we started that in 2017 and it grows bigger every year. We partnered with the city last year.
Yeah.
And
I think we've seen through so many school-age children, too, with reading. They might not always be reading in the genre that they like, and so therefore they think, I'm a bad reader.
Yeah,
don't
or I
like
hate
to read.
reading.
I hate
Yeah.
reading. And so that's why we started Middle Georgia Lit Fest, and kind of core is, yes, the literacy and comprehension, but also just exposing people to other genres and other books that come out, and literally there's every single genre represented here. And so it's like you will find something that you enjoy to read, no matter what that is, and
make the connection with the
make the
author or with
connection.
other people who have your similar interest.
Yeah.
And when you're saying reading comprehension, what you're reading, your mind is able to kind of break down and have an understanding of what you're reading,
Right.
the
Instead of
context
just-
of it.
Yeah, instead of just parroting what you hear.
Right.
Being able to break that down and say, okay, what is true? And how can I put that back into the universe in a more palatable, manner maybe.
Yeah. You're not just reading what the author means, you're thinking about what you think.
Yeah, what you get from
so it's
it.
not just what was intended, but also you're digesting it and seeing how to apply it.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, there was like a lot of authors that were trying to write with like open-ended kind of like where you kind of had to create, and that was like a huge that like turned so many kids off of reading because they couldn't cross connect. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and come up with their own theme, I guess, or their own timeline, or you know, anything like that. But touching back on what you had said, it has always blown me away that there's more money invested in our prison system than there is in our
it's a
like
business.
children's education.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so teachers get paid nothing compared to like prison teachers.
Yeah,
you know, and
Yeah, prison is a business.
Shocks me.
And that's another thing people don't realize. It is a legit business.
It's a business, yeah.
Yeah.
State funded.
Yes.
State funded business, yeah.
Yes.
I know. It's really cool to hear you guys say things that I've
We can get
known
super
for. I
aggravated.
know. I know.
I mean, as
Me
one
too.
should. I mean, I feel like I literally was speechless when you said that earlier, because that opened a door in my psyche, and now I have this awareness that I didn't have before.
Yeah.
But now that we're all talking about it, it's kind of like it's like the file is downloading, and I'm like, wait a minute.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but even the educational system is a business.
Yes.
And it's almost designed to have people fail.
It
and that
is.
is one of the reasons why I've always had such a issue with the Americanized, you know, educational system, because people like, I know people who have ADHD like me, and I am not trying to give myself clap or anything like that, but I feel like people with ADHD are literally the most brilliant people of the world. But we've been made to feel like we're idiots because we can't sit still and focus on the way they're teaching us. You know what I mean? But I know so many people with ADHD, and they come back and they create, or they envision, or they can problem solve the most unique things out there that that other men cannot, or other people cannot understand. But yet then they'll be made to feel like they're dumb because you know, they're not passing that IQ test. And then, you know, so many brilliant people out there that are highly educated. They know so many things. They can quote books, they can, you know, do math in their head, they can do all these things, but yet then their personality, or being able to problem solve or go into normal society, they don't fit in.
Nope.
And then how are we telling these people they're so smart and they're so good, and then other people who, you know what I mean? It's like that book smart and street smart.
Well, even
And-
teachers, I'm sure there's teachers that are on fire when they get out of
Oh,
school.
they're very much are.
And then
Yeah.
they go into like the school system, and after a few years, they're just like, well, I'm a shell of a human now, because they know the kiddos better than anybody else, and they see the potential.
Yeah.
But then they're like, I'm restricted to this
Exactly.
curriculum.
I think it comes back to us all just being intended for different things. So, you know, there's so many
Exactly.
psychologists and other people who speak to ADHD being like that hunter-gatherer, like the ones that are out there, you're constantly alert and on, you know, on watch for all these different things popping up. And, you know, that's kind of where we thrive, you know, but in the system that expects everyone to sit down, be quiet, and focus on, you know, something completely out of our wheelhouse, you know, then we don't fit the mold, but that doesn't mean that, you know, that's it's not our mold,
It's not
you
our
know?
mold.
So it doesn't mean that we're lesser for that.
I can't, like, it's escaping me right now, but there is like an actual, like, other countries are doing it, but there's like an education that some schools, private schools will do it here, and they will take some students and they have them learn out in nature, and then they take some students and they put them in the classroom, and, you know, but their education, when they're teaching them math, they're teaching them hands-on math, they're teaching them, you know, audio math, they're teaching them literal math, you know what I mean? And these kids are coming out so much smarter. They're learning
and better humans.
multiple languages. You know, they're learning how to thrive, how to fit into society. They're learning how to survive. They're learning all these skills, and yet all they're doing, it looks like play. You know what I mean? They're just outside and they're moving and they're constantly changing it up.
Yeah.
And I always felt like that, because it's like, if you're going to sit there and preach, I have like audio blindness. That's why I'm a little bit I'm afraid of doing like an audio book. But I can get into a book, so I think maybe I'll be okay. But I'll have like audio blindness where it's like, I literally will be like, you know, the Peanuts, you know, I'll hear, rah, 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 rah. That's all I hear in my head.
Yeah.
I can't help it. And, you know, I don't know. And that's, to this day, like, if somebody will say, like, I need to talk at you for a minute, I'm like, nope, This is not a conversation I'm going to be a part of because I will go blind. You say at, I'm not there.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, but if you say you want to talk to me and we can have a conversation, yes, I'm all for that. You know what I mean? But I don't like to be talked at.
That's the key word is conversation.
Yes.
Because 2 or more people are involved.
Yes.
If it's a discussion.
Yeah.
I hate the word discussion. And she laughs at me all the time because words to me, I'm
They
like,
mean.
that's a good word
They
or a
hold-
bad word.
They
Like,
hold power.
Yeah.
And they hold energy. And I'm the same exact way. So when people say certain key words, I'm like, trigger word, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Like I've checked out. Yeah.
I think that comes back to comprehension, right? Maybe we just don't focus on what different words mean, and so some people are kind of like, "What difference does it make?" And then you have some people who are like, "Everything,
Everything. It means everything. That word holds so much power. You know what I mean?
Absolutely."
Because our words are spells. So.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's my turn. I don't even know. I got too busy just conversating. I'm like,
No, welcome to the hot tub. Come on in.
oh my goodness.
Oh, yes. Okay, I see where you are. Number 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's
Wait,
cool.
wait. Did we skip past 7? Because you did
No,
6.
that was the
you did 6.
human rights, humanitarian rights.
I know. I think we kind of blended 6 and 7 together, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have
don't
teenagers. The 6-7 brain rot
Yes.
just entered the conversation.
Yes.
We were just talking about that the other day at work, and I don't even know what it is.
I don't think it has a meaning. I don't
yeah.
know. Does it?
No, I don't think so. I think it like the whole meaning is
Yeah.
that there is no meaning.
The kids say it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I heard some theory about like a lot of sports people, like they're
Shoot, I
about
don't know.
6'7", so
I
there's
don't
like
know.
that kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I tried to dive into it so I could be
Yeah.
cool, but I'm a
not
15-year-old. All right. Oh, okay. So you guys have like the little mini. You have a community pantry. And you have like a little like
The
book sharing
library.
library.
Yeah,
Can
the little
you
free
tell us
library.
about both of those?
I love our little free library. I love filling that up. I love seeing like because we're open 7 to 2, so we have quite a few hours in the day where we can sit, and it sounds super creepy, and I don't mean it to be that way, but at the glass front we can see people come up to the front. And it's so neat seeing people open up the library and go through the books and just start reading it there. Like, okay, I want this one.
Yeah.
Like, that is so neat to see.
Yeah, because with our hours, we're so often there baking, cleaning, planning, hosting an event or something, and so we get to see so much traffic. So we partnered with the Moms Club of Warner Robins for the pantry. So we're just kind of the location for it, and
Yeah.
we maintain, it to some extent, but they, do a lot of that heavy lifting for that initiative. But we do have that there on the left, and then we have the reading library on the
Yeah.
right from our perspective, and so we can just watch as people are able to really, come out and get what they need, donate so much. We have so many people who come out, coming back to people who are trying to be connected with a need, who don't know how to help. Now with those things, we see people who intentionally put into their day
I love that so
to go
much.
to the store, buy things, and put it in the pantry. So that becomes like a routine, right, of ways that people can give back if they're wanting to do so. And so many people getting rid of books, who bring just boxes of books.
Well,
for the
and then a
living
shout out
library.
to the Antique Mall here in Warner Robins. Whenever they do estate sales, they'll just have, boxes and boxes full of books, and they'll give them to us, and we can either send them to the prison or we fill up the other various landing libraries in town.
That is so
So it's really neat.
Yeah,
It
did
all
you-
stays.
Did you know that a lot of books are just thrown away too from estate
Yes.
sales, or when people don't know what to do with them,
They just dump 'em.
They
I
just
I don't
dump
understand
them.
that.
Yeah.
Because
It breaks
to
my
me,
heart.
I know. I mean, books, and I am a good old fashioned paper. I love the smell of a
Yes.
book.
Oh, yeah.
I love the feel of a book in my
Yep.
hand. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So that's like heartbreaking.
I know.
And so they said, "This is breaking our heart to throw it away. Like, you guys are going to do something. You are doing something actively
Yeah.
with books. Do you want these?" And so it was just
We
perfect.
have a
So
storage
cool.
unit
It
full
was just
of
perfect.
books.
Yes,
Dang.
it is just literally just coming back to things just happening and lining up. They really are awesome to connect us with people who are getting rid of books so that we can
Yeah.
repurpose and redistribute.
That's so cool.
Damien Eccles of the West Memphis 3, who was wrongfully accused
Yeah.
and ended up on death row
Yep.
wrongfully. He thank God he got out, but he had to have like celebrity backing to get out.
Yep.
People heard the story and then they just jumped on it. But books saved his life. He was in books all day. I think he ended up learning 4 languages. And he, like, if you ever hear any of his interviews, you would love his interviews because he talks openly about how books, basically kept him from losing
Yeah.
his mind in
Yeah.
there. And then he learned so much and was able to he's very open about kind of the PTSD of trying to transition from the prison system to civilian life, but he's got a couple of years there where he's like, I don't even remember anything.
Yeah.
But falling back into books was like, okay, let me get back into my routine I had, and he was able to kind of acclimatize finally. And then will you tell us about the Pay It Forward wall too?
Oh, yeah. So that's our community board. People we just do it with little Post-it notes. You were talking about Post-it notes earlier. It made me think of that. They could come up to the register and say, hey, I want to put $5 on this. And it started off where it would just say $5 on the community board. And I don't even remember when it changed. Someone said, hey, can I put, to a struggling college student or to a new mom or someone going through whatever. And we're like, yeah, let's do that. Let's do it that way, from now on. So now when you purchase either 5, 10, or whatever you want, you can put on there who you want it to go towards.
It started off
So
with
it's
just
neat.
the idea of some customers, asking, can we just, buy this other person's meal, or can we, just put money in for, whoever comes in that might need something and not have enough to cover it. And so that was like, oh my gosh, yes, we can.
Yeah.
Like, let's start doing that, connecting people from, a want to or to a need, a desire to help to a need. And so we were like, absolutely, let's put this front and center, where people walk in and we have those Post-its and we have the messaging there. And that it's so cool to see it being used and then filled right back up again.
Yeah.
That's so
It's so
cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
So people are very in tune with, what's on that board and how to continuously keep it filled. So.
Just another example of community.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all it is.
I love that. Yeah, you guys have so many great. You have such a big heart. I'm falling in love with you guys.
It really
Seriously.
is, it's our community. It kind of
Yeah.
sounds so cheesy to try to deflect that, and it really is just so many people are really good people, and they just don't always
The
have the
majority
opportunity
of
to
people
show it.
are good.
Yeah, they just don't always have the opportunity to give back in such a awesome way. But we are just the middlemen. We connect people, so we have people who are wanting to give and a desire to give, and we have people with needs, and we're just like, oh, let's connect these two.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of our, we're blessed to be in that role and be able to do that. But really, the people who are pouring so much in is our community and all these other people. And they're
I
just
love that.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful givers of resources and time. So, yeah.
And
Just
Between
lucky to get to
Friends
watch
is
it.
won best coffee shop in Central Georgia 9 years in a row.
Every year, yeah.
So your community has you have a ravenous following.
Which is, I don't know, just the nerdy little girl in me is like, this is, I don't know. It's hard to wrap my brain around sometimes. And you're really good. Vic's really good at kind of centering everything. And it's probably, I don't know if this is the right time to say it or if you want me to repeat it at the end. But the people we have met along the journey, I mean, people like you guys, our paths probably would not have crossed if we didn't have the shop.
Yeah.
And we can say that about so many people who
So many.
are just intricate in our lives now that we're like, how did we survive without them?
Yeah.
I mean, some of our best friends, family. It's like we would not have met them had we not opened up. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have some people that are still there that have been there since day
Yes,
one.
since
at the
day
shop.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lady who's come every single morning.
Wow.
Every single morning by 8 a.m. she comes. Every
To the
single
point where
day.
she calls us if she's going out of town or
Yeah.
missing a morning. She's like, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Yeah,
I
I
will
love
be here
this.
tomorrow.
I was
Yes.
you answered my question. It was like you got into my head because I was like, what if she doesn't show up? Are you guys panicking?
We do.
Yeah.
We do. We have some customers.
Yeah.
We're like, are they okay?
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
come in. We're like, oh my gosh, what happened? And it's awesome to see, to have that kind of the people with the routines.
Yeah.
Who we get to be a part of their day is just like
In just a split second, but we get to be a part of that day, and we have the power in the morning to either make it a good day or start it off on a crappy step.
Yeah,
That's very powerful.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, circling back to what you had said, I think it's like the energy you guys put out. You guys pour out so much love. So then it's like I feel like when you're acting in love has always been like my hugest thing ever
Yeah.
since I was a kid. I mean, seriously, that's the gift I pray for. You know what I mean? Is to just love people.
Yeah.
And when you are stepping every foot, every direction, you're stepping forward with love, then it just comes back to you energetically. You know
It
what
does.
I
We
mean?
have been so blessed.
Yeah.
We're like all the time, why us?
Yeah.
Like what?
Because you guys have so much love. Like I'm listening to your guys' heart. You guys aren't just like, oh, well, we needed to, we want to retire someday, so we have to do this, you know what I mean, or whatever. No, this was like, hey, we have a love story. Let's birth a business together so we could have our own child, our own situation, and let's do all of it with love, because it was made with love, and we're going to continue with love, and then that is why is because
you put it into such beautiful words.
No, I feel like I stumble around, but thank you. But I mean, I just feel like everything is such energy and flow is my whole thing. So I know, like you were saying, when you wake up in the morning, and if I wake up in the morning and I come into this place and I'm in a bad mood for whatever reason, or something just isn't setting right with me, it's almost like I'll set the tone, you know what I mean? And then on the days that I'm like, no, we're going to have fun, even if there's like, people are coming at me with this negative, I'm like, whoo, woo, the ninja, trying to get rid of it. And then at the end of the day, everybody's happy and we're kind of leaving in love, you know what I mean? So we just set that tone, I think, as the owners. We're like the mamas. Do you feel like mamas? I feel like a mama. I'm like, you guys are all my children. I don't care if you're older than me. Well, I got you, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly.
And so, we just set the tone. But you guys are doing such, I didn't know anything about you guys, really. I mean, we were like, okay, our interview's coming up, and we're like kind of searching social media, trying to figure out who you guys are at the heart. And like, the more she was saying about you guys, I was like, why are they not our best friends? Like, I'm so confused. Like, we all have the same vision. We all have the same vision. We all have the same mission. And listening to you guys, I feel like we are like, I didn't even know who you were, but I feel like we're mirroring everything you guys are. We're parroting.
No, blending.
I've had wild ideas, and just randomly cold call Jamie. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna give you an idea. If you want to have it, if not, just hand it off to somebody else. But I think it's like anything. I think cynicism and nihilism can be a practice, and people don't realize that. And so can community and hope and love, without it sounding like a cliche. If you are just wanting it, it has to be like a practice. Sometimes it feels like you're throwing into like a pit, but it builds up, and then it kind of fuels something. And I feel like that's what y'all do.
Thank you.
I know, I don't remember the exact quote, but Jane Goodall says that each one of us has the power every single day to make a choice that changes the trajectory of the world. Like, we can each choose, like, it does sound cliche, right, to be like, oh, hope, love, rainbows, unicorns, all this stuff. But if we truly intentionally put ourselves in that mindset and that space and intentionally take action to create that around us, we're literally changing the world around us. We're changing how the energy that we put out, how it interacts with people around us, and then how their trajectory goes. And we can literally, create one drop of water, all together creates a wave. And so, everyone just putting one drop in can change the world. So I think if we all intentionally live with that hope and love and positivity, and not like toxic positivity, but you're intentionally creating goodness and putting it out there, I think that literally will change the course of the world and change our communities for the better.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of that, you guys have a publishing company too, don't you?
We do.
Another side quest.
Yes,
another side quest.
It actually happened really early on because we were literary themed. We just attracted all these authors and fellow lover of books, and it just sort of organically happened where we had people they'd written stories or wanted to write stories, and they didn't know what came next. Okay, like, we've done all this stuff, we've put our story to paper, now what? And so being able to offer a slightly different service-based kind of business model versus like a traditional publisher where you're pursuing publishing and really marketing yourselves. It's very time-consuming and financially very heavy on that as well. So we started a publishing company that was accessible. So accessible for people who just wanted to put their words out there and get their words out there. And like she said, I published her poetry book coming from a design background and a graphic design, advertising kind of marketing background. She had written just incredible work of poetry, and so I was like, well, it's not hard for me to take this, this document and then turn it into, this perfect layout and put it together and publish it. And so going through that process really laid the foundation for a publishing company. And we published books for a few of our friends and things as well. And we were like, we have the tools in our toolbox. Let's do this. Let's offer this to other people.
And I think that's one of the roads that we wanted to take is, you said accessibility and affordability, but the publishing industry is, it's another one of those that's pretty cutthroat. A lot of these places will basically own you.
Yeah.
You know, they take your words and your stories, and they own it at the end of the day. You're paying them all this money to do it, and you don't have the rights to it. You don't get the royalties to it until you pay that all back.
Whoa.
And
It's
that's
just
something
like the
that we
music
didn't want.
industry. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh,
Right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's something we didn't want. And so what we do is we publish it for you. You know, you pay like your upfront thing. We publish it for you, and then we're done. You own everything 100%. You get literally everything. We get nothing afterwards. We still have
Wow.
those relationships with you. If you need help, you know, we're not saying we're not accessible.
Yeah. In
But-
fact, I think we consider ourselves extra accessible to people.
Yeah.
Like we don't charge for like think tanks. If someone has like
Yeah.
a question and they're just like, I literally don't know what this means, or I
Yeah.
don't know what to do with this, or what should I do next, we don't charge for that. We just want to be your friends.
Yeah.
And kind of walk
Yeah.
you through, like, we have years of experience in this industry, what you got, and then kind of go from there.
I can't even imagine how you got started with starting your own publishing company, though. Like, I mean, I wouldn't even. My brain can't even process what that looks like. Like, how do you start that?
It's called being a control freak and not wanting to give control to anybody else. Yeah, that's pretty much all of our things have started.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
let's just do it
like,
ourselves.
Let's just do this. Well, really, so her poetry book kind of helped lay the groundwork. But we had a friend who had written books, or letters. Sorry, had written letters
to her father who passed away.
to her father who had
Yeah.
passed away, and she really wanted it into more of an accessible way. Her family, also grieving the loss of her father, really would benefit from having a copy, but she didn't. I mean, you know, what am I going to do? Like, pass this bundle of letters around, you know, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
that wasn't like an accessible option, and so we
We also like to kind of thrill people, though. Like, that's, I think we get more out of it than they do.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So I
often.
asked her, I said, can I just read your letters? And she's just, you know, brings us stacks of things. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep them for a few months. Like, it's an emotional thing. Let me get through it. And she's like, okay, that's fine. You know, I don't want to look at them anyway right now. So we hand typed them up.
Wow.
And we thought, okay, her birthday's coming up in May. We can do this, because I think we got them around Christmas.
Yeah.
And so we're like, is this feasible? All right, let's do it. She is an incredible kindergarten teacher here in the area, does so much for everybody, and is just literally one of the best humans we've ever met.
Yeah.
And we're like, let's just knock her socks off with this. And if we're not able to do it, she'll never know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and somehow we did it and gave it to her on her birthday. She came in that morning for a coffee, and Victoria made her a Barbie cake because she's always wanted a Barbie cake. So
Aw.
Vic made her a Barbie cake with the Barbie doll in the middle. And I said, hey, I've got your letters back. And we handed her the book.
Oh my god.
And she just literally fell apart in the floor. And awkward me's like, Vic, I'm not a hugger. Like, I'm just patting her head. Like, I don't know what to do.
They're there.
Yeah, they're there, friend. But that, just like that burst of energy, and that burst, honestly, it's cliche, that love that was in
Yeah.
the room at that moment.
Yeah.
Like, we just gave her, she did all the work putting all of that onto paper, and we just took it and kind of sewed it up with a bow, and that was a cool ass feeling, honestly.
That is
That's so
amazing.
And that's where I think it came from.
So
It's
that
like, we can
energy
do
kind of
that.
burst into
Yeah.
a business, because we realized with Jamie's background and you know, as an author herself, but also English degrees and all these things, my background doing design and layout and all these things, it was like, well, for us these things are accessible and easy. Like, we can do this, like, you know, these things anyway. But then putting them together in such an organized way, and then making those accessible to people who have that need. That was just like, we did that, and then we're like, oh, okay, other people want this, they need this.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, like, we can do this all day long. And so that kind of just, that was a catalyst for the business. And that just kind of grew from between friends. Like, we
Yeah.
have a bookshelf with all of our published authors that want to be put on the bookshelf on there. And just like a whole community of authors now that I would just call like a think tank, I
Yeah,
suppose.
that's
You know, we're able to
amazing.
help people.
We're kind of just addicts, though, like with people.
Yeah.
And love and energy.
Let me help
and-
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and tattoos.
Yeah. getting to help people is just I think that was my calling in life, and I think you very similarly. Just being around people and helping people and loving people and the energy that creates.
I love that.
So anything that happens
maybe that's the narcissism in us, though.
I don't know.
We get that high from people, or like just these little like micro doses.
I mean, we all have narcissistic tendencies. You know what I mean? Some of us use it for the good, and some of it use it for the bad. So
exactly. Any of our initiatives, I think, just come from that.
Yeah. Well, I love your guys' like love story. You guys have it actually made me tear up when you guys are like talking about each other, like publishing each other's poetry. I know. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like moved. I'm trying to like pull myself together here. I love it so much. Well, is there anything else? Oh, we didn't even talk about you guys being on game shows.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so that's more Jamie's thing. I enjoyed being on the game show that I was on, but I, like she said earlier, I'm the stage manager. I'm the person behind the scenes. That's my comfort zone.
Yeah.
One and done for me, but she's amazing when she goes on stage and on set, either at the local community theaters or on the more national level, international level with game shows. It's just like she just becomes this person, this bubbly.
I don't know about that.
Bubbly, and it's smart.
It's so curated, though, and like I don't want to bust anyone's bubble, but a lot of it is... It's curated. Like, it's not scripted, but it almost feels like
showbiz, baby.
Yeah. Like, my mom wanted to be on Family Feud, and she applied, and she didn't get in. And she's like, you're the writer. You write something. All right, I'll try. Well, they picked it. So we go on Family Feud. My mom, my dad, my two siblings, and I. We had a great time. But that's when we kind of saw the other side of it. You know, what you see on TV is not really what you get. You know, if they didn't like how the audience laughed, or if they didn't like your answer, they're like, all right, let's reshoot that. And so it's like, oh, it's a little hinky, you know, whatever. But Pictionary saw me on Family Feud and reached out, and they're like, hey, do you want to, grab your best friend, grab somebody? And so Vic's an artist, so that was a no-brainer.
Don't judge my art based off of that episode, though. No. Like 3 seconds.
We set a record on that show.
We did,
Like, we steamrolled it. And then once you're in that, I don't know, the pipeline, then all the shows start reaching out to you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's really weird watching you guys and listening to you guys, because I feel like you guys... It's like I resonate with both of you guys, and then I see you in both of them. You know what I mean? Like, they'll say things, and I'm like, oh, that's just like me. And then they'll say something else, and I'm like, oh, that's just like Brent. Like, you're like, I'm an introvert. Me too.
Yeah.
But then you're like, oh, she just comes alive on the stage. I'm like, that's Brent.
Well, until we met, they were the only like mirror y'all were the only mirror I had in town. I'm gonna be honest. When I first moved here from Atlanta, I didn't know anybody else, and I felt so connected to y'all, but I didn't want to like run up on you and be like, hey, best friends, and like freak you out.
Do.
But I would just kind of support you from afar and watch what y'all were doing, and I'd be like, oh my God, there's more of me, there's more of us. It's happening. So I would I would hear someone talk about something that kind of match what y'all were wanting to do, and I'm like, I know the perfect people for this, and I would just try to just throw little gems in your cobweb and just like kind of get it built up. And so it was just exciting getting to know y'all. Like, when we started this podcast, you guys were literally top 3 of people. I was like, we have to get them on here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what I'm hearing is we need to spend more time with each other.
Seriously. Okay. I just met you guys, but yeah, I think so. But she is speaking truth, because when we started this, which kind of fell in our lap, it was kind of the same thing. We just kind of, somebody threw an idea, and I'm the introvert. I don't like this attention. So I was like, I can't do this. Just kind of how you felt earlier today. And here we are. But when we started, she was like, we got to have the Between Friends girls.
The coffee girls.
And then here you are, like, we're interviewing so late in the game, but that's because we had to. I think she really does look up to you guys and hold you to such a status, And so the whole time, I think she's been waiting to nail down our style before
we wanted to work on it a little bit.
Listen,
we didn't want to ruin it.
No, every time you come in the shop, we're like, Ren's here.
Oh,
yes.
Guys, I love you all so much.
That.
And I want to ask you all one more question. If time wasn't an objective and money wasn't a thing and you could just imagine anything and it would just happen in the physical world, what is the vision for Between Friends in the future? Like, what would that look like if you could just literally do anything and like wave a magic wand?
I think we've talked about that kind of for like since day one. Obviously, money and time and all these things are kind of limiters to anybody's dreams and goals. But what we really wanted to create was kind of just like she said earlier, it was just a place for people to connect. You know what I mean? Like a place for people to congregate and to feel seen and loved and known and appreciated. And so whatever we look like, whether we're in the small form or a big form, I think that is kind of at our core.
Something just more than us, I think.
Yeah, I think it's just like our community to continue to grow. That's the big thing for us. You know, obviously, as business owners, we have to think of the bottom line and money and all these things, but outside of that, it's just us looking at the community and saying, what can we do to grow this? How can we help? How can we continue to see needs and either fill them ourselves or connect them to people with the, you know, opportunities and the abilities to fill them? And so what we've created can kind of evolve with or without, you know, certain levels of money or any of that kind of stuff. I think just continuing to build our village. And our
just
tribe
seeing
is
what's
so
next,
important.
whether that involves us being at the center or not.
I just want to continue to grow this community and this idea that kind of like you have tattooed on your arm, we belong to each other. We all belong to one another. We all need to look after one another and to see each other and talk to each other and communicate and have discussion and do like this, you know, really meet and slow down our lives and connect. And so that's what Between Friends Coffee and Between Friends Publishing and all these different, you know, Warner Robins Little Theater, all these different things we're involved in. That's what that looks like for us. Just
I think so.
People, more and more people. The more the better.
Do you guys have anything coming in the future that you guys haven't that you could announce but haven't announced?
Oh, Middle Georgia Lit Fest is in February 7th. We're expecting 200 authors there with different classes. It's free to the public. The city is our partner with that.
The city's been really supportive with these different initiatives. The current mayor actually ran on a platform of literacy and is really passionate about literacy in our community and even
and health. We really like her. 'Cause she's got a good vision with things.
So we just brought the subject to her. We'd done all of these Lit Fest and author events in our shop before, and Jamie and she connected, and we're just like, we really want to bring this to a bigger audience. Mayor's like, cool, when and where, let's do this. And so supportive of the arts.
She is so supportive.
And literacy and education and all these things. And so
I wasn't prepared for that. Like I geared up with my notebook and color coded everything to meet with her, and I was like, okay, I just want to get on your calendar. And she's like, the answer is yes, whatever you want.
Okay. We had a similar experience with her because we did the Healthy Hustle. And we went and met with her, and I was just like, I can't believe this is real life. Like, she's just so sweet and open. She's not closed off. You know what I mean? She's so understanding, and she really does have a love for people, I feel like. And so she's like, what can we do to make things better? How can we get healthier? How can we get smarter? How can we get more involved with each other, and she has that vision, that community vision, which is just amazing.
If it's going to help the citizens, she's down.
Absolutely. So I guess Middle Georgia Lit Fest is our biggest thing coming up. I foresee other partnerships with the city and different avenues that we can help. We're always involved with the Little Theater, so any shows that are going on, anything we can do there. Jamie's the vice president, and I sit on a couple different committees. I'm the head of the publicity committee too, so any kind of avenues that we can connect with people and work with people in the community is something that we're always down for, really advocating and creating a platform for voices of people.
I have had so many ideas with this place, and I've never taken off with them. And so, I'm alone, and I kind of started this business in the middle of going through a divorce. So it was just my mind has just been in survival mode. But you guys are really inspiring me to kind of take off with my little dreams.
You
know what I mean? I can do it. I can do it.
You can give life to them.
Anything you need, any platform you need, going out to you and to Rin and anyone who's listening to any platform. the worst thing people can say is no, not right now, or
Yeah.
no, not yet. And so, like, always throw those ideas out there. It's worked for us. And there's always a community ready to bounce things, off of you, or ready to provide you a platform or resource that you need. So.
Off the microphone, well, I want to talk to you guys one day down the road, not today,
Yeah,
but you know what I
sure.
mean? Because I have had an idea, and I was like, when you guys were talking about some of your ideas, I was like, oh my gosh, this has been my whole plan the whole time, and I kind of dropped the ball. Like, time for me to like reignite it,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Where's the festival going to be?
At the Parks and Rec Center on North Houston.
Okay. Very
Yeah,
cool.
the city's
Very
building.
cool.
They give us the
Beautiful
entire
space.
the entire space for the
It's so
weekend.
huge. Oh my gosh, yeah, but we do fill it out with authors, and
That's awesome.
this year is actually going to be bigger than last year. Last year was kind of like a testing scenario where, like, well, we've always run it in our coffee shop. Let's see what we can pull together, and it was incredible.
I think we
It
had
was a huge
65
success,
65 authors.
considering what our goals were for it. And so this year we've already had so many people sign up. People from all around the United States are coming here as authors, or different creatives, or different. We have educators coming and things like
We've
that.
sent
as
some
well,
big
so
invitations out that we've got
Yeah.
verbal yeses, but we'll see. See what
Oh my
happens.
gosh, that's so neat.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
exciting.
Really big names, really big movements here to Warner Robins. So, yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
I mean, Warner Robins is kind of, like Ren said, there's so many creative people here. And so I feel like Warner Robins is like the next it place. We just
Yeah.
don't know it yet,
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
I remember when I was living in Colorado Springs, it was like before Colorado Springs was the thing. They
Yeah.
like barely were on the map,
Yep.
And I kept saying like, no, I feel the energy of this place. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. And everybody was like, oh no, nothing's ever, it's all Denver. It's all
Yeah.
Denver. You
Yeah.
know, it's all these other places,
It's always going to be a big small town.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's always going to be a big small town.
Yeah.
And now it's like so many people are like, oh yeah, now I just fly directly into Colorado Springs. I don't even go to Denver anymore. Like I have everything I need in that area,
Yes.
And I feel like kind of that energy starting to happen with Middle
yeah.
Georgia.
Yep.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
Like
agree.
we're kind of branching out. We're gonna put a place on the map.
Yes.
Finally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, being
Yeah.
the international city, we have so much to offer. So
We
many
do.
people, so many perspectives, so many
Yeah.
artists and
Yeah.
creatives.
Yeah.
And big things are coming for
Big
sure.
things are
I
coming.
mean, who
yeah.
knows? That book Barbie Cake might have been like an atomic bomb of just like love and positivity. It just like recoded the Matrix or something.
I got a picture of that.
Absolutely.
I love that. Well, so is there anything else that you guys wanted to share, or?
Mostly just appreciation. I
Yeah,
think,
you guys
for
are so
you guys
cool.
asking us out. That's
Oh,
awesome.
thank you. No, thank you
love
guys for coming.
We love to talk about our amazing community and
Yeah.
all the things that are moving and shaking in this part of the world. So thank you for inviting us
Yes,
out and
thank you.
having us talk your ears off.
And what is the shop socials in case anybody wants to connect with you?
So Between Friends Coffee
Yep.
and Between Friends Publishing can be found on Facebook, on Instagram, on
TikTok.
TikTok. Warner Robins
Nice.
Little Theater also has a TikTok and a Facebook and an Instagram. So
I'm gonna go follow
give us a
everybody.
follow, please.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Stay connected. We always have all sorts of opportunities for volunteering and different events and things with all of those initiatives, publishing, coffee house, and Lit Fest and the theater and all that stuff. So
Nice.
yeah, stay tuned.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it so much.
This is awesome. Thank you
They're
for
such
so much.
amazing women. I'm so thank you for bringing them into our lives.
Oh
I
my
love
gosh.
them.
Thank you for being in our lives, like for real.
Hey, I'm so glad that we
Thank
have
you.
2 new best friends.
Yes.
I
Same.
Between friends.
Yes.
All right. Well, with that being said, that's a wrap.